Well, hello, Moon Man. You like it?
I like it. It's altogether ooky.
It is. It's ooky spooky. Hey, friends, can you hear us? Can you hear me? Oh, geez. Rebel Moose asks, are we going to see spooky versions of the host's names like in this treehouse? I was thinking about that. That would be hilarious. Let me see here. Good. Okay. Good. I'm glad you can. Hey, some good soup says hiya. Master Metapook says yes, we can. TV says we can. Spooky just muddy voice. Oh wait, it's Troy. Ooh. It's my favorite time of the year. It's so much fun, and I'll tell you, it doesn't get any more fun than this. Being able to hang out with these two Ruby Ghoulies. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello there.
How are you?
Doing well, thanks. How are you?
Spooky.
I'm all right. Are you scared?
Generally,
Spooky.
always.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to maybe not that the low key ennui dread or the sort of that haunts us on our day to day, but more so the fun like a spooky kind, the Halloween kind. Look at this, happy almost Halloween, says Sean Holland. Good to see you. Of Gods and Game Master says yes, which I told. Yeah, oh yes, probably that he can hear us. I'm imagining. Who remembers the movie Ghoulies from the '80s? I remember Goonies.
Yep. I think I've heard of Ghoulies.
In the 80s.
Also, I wasn't alive in the 80s, so I missed out.
Right now, I'm going to scream. Real quick question, friends who are in chat. Can you hear my voice?
Hopefully.
Yeah, we can hear your voice. So theoretically, that means they can hear your voice.
Let me know if you can hear my voice, because
streams in the internet are strange that way.
You
RC says all three of us are audible, so
that's yes, we can try. Or Troy. I will be right back, guys. Do me a favor. Why don't you explain what it is we're doing today, and I'll be back in all of my splendor here momentarily.
Excellent. So today, for our episode, we were going to talk a little bit about how to add some Halloween-appropriate horror to different locations or otherwise, ordinary adventures in your M&M game, so that you can take a regular site or a regular adventure and just spook it up a bit and add some fun thematic Halloween stuff to it for a suitable seasonal game.
Yeah, and finding little ways to spookify your superheroes, which is harder than it looks.
Right. So I've got danger zones open in front of me. In terms of taking a look at different locations, and a lot of times, if you're looking for looking to create a suitably fun and atmospheric kind of scary scenario, you can sometimes find inspiration by just picking a particular place and trying to make it spooky in different ways. So some places, obviously, in danger zones lend themselves really well to that. Like a haunted hotel is pretty obvious possibility. Same thing with a creepy haunted amusement park of some sort. But it would be interesting to take some of the weird and offbeat locations and think about building horror and Halloween adventures around some of them. One that jumps out as a fun possibility. Oh, I'm getting a bit of an echo there.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, great. Let me turn this down a little bit so you don't hear you through me.
But one that jumps out at me as a good possibility is the zoo.
Oh, that's a good one.
The haunted zoo.
Right.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah. And of course, it doesn't have to be haunted per se. I mean, you can do pretty much any of these locations. You can just take the place and stick haunted in front of the name, and you've got you know
That's
a scary adventure. Like there are ghosts here, or whatever, or things that are
a
scary.
haunted diner. Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Pick anything. Um,
Yeah,
but
the zoo scene,
some
I
of
was
it,
immediately like, what if there was a big game hunter ghost hunting all the animals at the zoo, and the heroes had to deal with that?
right? That would be fun,
Or Jumanji's just a haunted board game, right?
right?
That's
Or
right. Yeah.
what if there are alien, shapeshifters, loose in the zoo?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's let's see what folks are saying here in chat. RC's talking about the next Horrorween stream on Wednesday. Okay, good. We need to know about that. And all of us are ours have been pitting regular people like PL3 3 through 5 against horror film types at PL 8, 10. That's great.
Yeah.
S.C. Terry says monstrous cat in Welsh mythology associated with Arthurian legends. They were getting into it in chat, right? Be careful out there. My daughter just found Omega, Lord of the Terminus in a Snickers bar. She got trick or treating. Very
Another,
nice.
your next candy bar.
Yeah, exactly. A sunken pirate ship full of ghosts or zombies, and it lands inside the Atlantean world. How would they deal with that?
Pretty well, considering the Atlanteans have a fair number of spellcasters.
Yeah.
I imagine that they'd probably be okay handling ghosts.
Like Gene mentioned Zookeep 7, where people were trapped by the villain. Oh, I see. It's a human zoo.
Yeah. Well, you could always, if you want to do the classic comic book horror story in a zoo, it's the the cover with the zoo animal. It's usually a gorilla, but the zoo animal that's holding the sign that says, people don't know that I'm trapped in the form of this animal. Sort of a thing. What happens when when you start the adventure where the heroes, wake up in a zoo and they're in the bodies of zoo animals, and
Oh,
then
that's a good one.
and they're like, what happened? And how do we get out of this? And what do we do?
Yeah, Steve, you had me thinking about an Atlantean exorcist who's just like, by the power of Poseidon, the whole ocean is holy water now. Get out of our ocean.
Right.
I love it. Let's see. Square says, question, do you find it easier to artificially lower the PL for the characters than creating PL appropriate adventures for horror?
For horror, it depends on the adventure. But for me, I think that it's pretty easy to throw a villain, or, a horror villain at the characters who's, more unusually resistant to their powers, or, um, you know, a ghost they can't hurt, kind of thing.
Nate Robbins, don't make me turn this channel around. You little bugger. That is, I've got to turn that off. You have now, Nate, it's
And
very,
yet,
very sweet and very generous of you, but stop doing that. Spend that money on something different. Like, I don't know, some gravy. Go buy some gravy with that money.
Just going to share my Venmo for no reason.
right.
No particular reason. Oh my god.
So Simon Wentworth tells us about a classic adventure seed, which is kids getting transformed into whatever Halloween costumes they're wearing. I think that Buffy the Vampire Slayer made a pretty effective use of that in one episode.
Wasn't there a Halloween one where the mask, like, did they did something to their brain here?
Yeah, it's a pretty classic trope, and it is a fun story idea. And as pointed out, it poses a dilemma for the heroes, because are they going to hurt the kids if they go around punching out the monsters?
right?
And it may cause them, at least initially, to try and handle things with kid gloves. No pun intended.
Yeah, And I think Mutants and Masterminds is very well suited to do an adventure like that because you can make whatever their costume is as a character. It's an easy thing to do.
Well, hey, real
Yeah.
quick, gentlemen, I'm wondering if we can take just a real quick break. We're just to maybe share a bit of the news of the world, as it were, and
Indeed.
we can kind of maybe ponder, how we want to apply that to which map while we're on, and then folks in chat, as you're, listening and inspired, throw out some other scenarios. But for now, listen to this. All right, let's do close. We got a lot going on, and I got to talk fast. The 20% off sale for Fantasy Age and Cthulhu, it ends on Halloween, so if you want to buy it now, and don't forget Cthulhu Mythos for Fantasy Age and Brinkmanship for Cthulhu Awakens. And let's not forget the brand new Dread Crawls 1. It's only $7.99. And listen, I don't even have time to talk about the Age Insider program. That's coming soon, too. More to come. And now we're going to slow down because the Mutants and Masterminds book bundle is live over at Humble Bundle. You get Freedom City, Power Profiles, Rogues Gallery, and more. Gather up your party for an epic adventure with this bundle of tabletop role-playing books from us. Answer the hero's call and defend the globe from nefarious masterminds. This TTRPG Explorers Kit contains rulebooks, sourcebooks, and campaign resources for Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition, including awesome add-ons like Freedom City, Rogues Gallery, and more. There's 19 books in this bundle. That is $364 worth of value, and you get to name your price. But that's not all. This Humble Bundle supports World Central Kitchen. It's a nonprofit organization addressing food insecurity during and after natural disasters and humanitarian crises. Founded in 2010 after the devastating earthquake in Haiti, World Central Kitchen has since served more than 8 million meals to those affected by disasters. It's a win, 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 win. Pick it up for a GM that you think ought to be doing some superhero stuff. You know what makes a great stocking stuffer? Superpowers, tights, a cape, Mutants and Masterminds, the entire collection. Can you imagine? Super-powered family Christmas? Listen, Granny won't know what hit her. You need to pick this up, and that QR code will take you right there. Go grab it today. I don't think anyone will be mad about the Christmas music before.
I was going to say,
Halloween.
Troy has also reminded us of the horror that is Christmas music before Halloween.
And here I am, unable to hear you yet again.
Oh, no.
Something's going on. I'll be right back. But while I'm away, take it away, gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, folks, do take an opportunity to grab the Humble Bundle for M&M when you have the opportunity. It is the first time we have offered the whole 3rd edition collection of Mutants and Masterminds in a bundle like that. So it is a great opportunity.
Just need an ice pick to get that Christmas music out of my ears.
I know, right?
Lives in your brain rent free now, unfortunately. But yeah, the Humble Bundle is an awesome collection. It's for a great cause. Really, even just the PDFs alone are just such a great opportunity for people looking to get into M&M or looking to complete their collection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is. Can you hear me
Very
now?
cool. Yeah.
I can.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
Doc,
great.
I hear you as somebody who has worked retail, the horror that is Christmas music in this season.
Yep. I worked at Target
really
for Black Fridays.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the Humble Bundle is amazing. It's amazing for us. It's a great opportunity to bring a bunch of new people into the community. And so if you could do me a favor, friends, boost the signal. You'll see some socials and things. Run with it, share it with a friend, and pick Granny up something that'll fit in her stocking.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, great. So here we are. We're ready to haunt something, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is
Do we
it
want
my
to pick a
brain?
place to haunt? Or do we want to just
What's
talk about a lot of them?
We
What?
we'd do it the other way.
Yeah. I'm good with talking about a bunch of possibilities.
Let's do it. Doc says I work at Target now. It's melting my brain already, friend. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah.
Why are you my
Well,
granny
I mean, we could start with talking about retail. What if the characters encounter some kind of horror in the context of the local big box store or the local mall or something like that? Is a vengeful ghost haunting the place? Is it a Scooby-Doo style scam by somebody who wants to scare customers away? with the
Yeah.
notion that the place is haunted or is under some kind of curse.
The collective greed energy of everybody who died there on Black Friday.
Right? Has summoned a demonic entity, that is simply feeding on the pure human misery that is, retail shopping.
Ooh, what if it was like an anti-capitalist group of pranksters
Mhm.
trying to
Yeah.
ruin everybody's holidays and
That's what
ruin
they were
shopping
doing.
in general? Yeah, they could. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then they can do some stuff like set like amplify all the worst things about working in retail, and so the workers will leave. And
Yep.
very funny. Yeah.
Raymond points out a great one. If you, for folks who are familiar with the American Spirit of Halloween stores that show up around this time, we joke about how they inhabit the corpses of other
yeah.
storefronts and the like. Maybe there is such a thing as a weird sort of store entity that's going around possessing empty shops in order to lure people in to bargain for their souls.
Oh,
If you
oh,
want
I
to
like
want to
that.
play in some, bring in a foe like Mr. Infamy or some other sort of hellish deal maker.
Oh, the idea of bargains you can't refuse. That is, I love that.
Yep.
It's crazy.
The Halloween
There
spirit.
was a Spirit Halloween movie last year with Christopher Lloyd in it.
Right.
What was it? It was
It was a horror movie called Spirit Halloween with Christopher Lloyd as the villain.
There you go.
That is funny. That is some good suits. That
Yeah.
is just a Spirit Halloween. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
and
Bill says they're running a M&M Halloween one-shot this Thursday. You have to let us know what the
awesome.
time
Logic
is on it.
Core also mentions Doc Holliday, who of course is a great M&M character to break out at any holiday occasion.
Yeah,
And
what
Alex, you have something coming up for Doc Holliday, don't you?
I do. I have an M&M mix-up starring Doc Holliday. At the
what's he
zoo on
doing?
Halloween.
Nuh-uh. Is he really?
Yeah, weirdly enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was what was
That's what the
voted.
Cape and Cow Club picked, isn't it?
So we're going to be doing
Redskins.
a Boo at the Zoo sort of
A
deal.
Boo at the zoo. That is so good. That is great. I love it. And then that'll be so the M&M mix-up for those who are maybe not aware is that we have the Cape and Cow Club. It's a very exclusive club that everybody can buy into for $8 a month. But you get a bunch of great things, stat blocks and stuff, and then Alex and Steve, or Axolotl and Stevel, all they throw out some suggestions. You mix them up. The idea is kind of create a challenge, for these guys, and then they come up with something fun. So Boo at the Zoo, strong, solid.
It's fun.
Daedalus has to give Freedom Hall to Spirit Halloween. Base bills out here.
I'm surprised they haven't done already. Yeah, Simon, I agree. That's I think you're onto something. Let's see. Can I just say I love the NPCs that populate Earth Prime? Yeah,
Yes, you
I do
absolutely
too.
can say that. We do too.
You absolutely can say it. It's pronounced Steve. Question for you, gentlemen: what other M&M villains exist that might fit well into a Halloween themed horror show?
Oh, we've got a whole list. I mean, in addition to the aforementioned Mr. Infamy, we've got who's great for evil deal making of all kinds, and just general, undead skeleton warriors and other sorts of underworld hijinks. We can always bring in characters like the Hell Queen, who's a great demonic villain. Fearmaster, some good soup points out, great option there, especially if you want to do a spooky sort of haunted house scenario. Toy Boy is a super creepy, villain in the, high-pitched voice of a ghost that possesses children's toys and wants to play with you forever.
Yeah. S.C. Taryn mentioned stopping a Doulahan, and Catherine the Red is a Doulahan. We have
Is a Doulahan, yes.
Is a Doulahan?
Yeah, a headless horse person.
I see. I see.
Yeah. Oh, Silver
Got-
Scream is great. I love Silver
Silver
Scream.
Scream is terrific, especially if you want to, mix up your adventure with a, sort of silver screen classic horror sort of scenario.
I love it.
Yeah. Somebody's besmirching Hades is a good name. Hades is not a villain, so
You'd think they'd have learned by now. Oh, I like this.
But yeah, we've got
Adipose.
we've got a whole bunch of really great spooky supernatural
I
bad
like that.
guys.
Good stuff. And hey, friends, if you're watching on demand, listening on demand, you're going to want to make sure you're checking out the chat as well. This is the kind of stuff that's great for people who are just starting out. You want to
Mhm.
kind of Madame Macabre, yeah?
Yes. Madame Macabre is the perfect villain to live out all of your Elvira, Queen of the Dark, Mistress of the Dark, as host of your adventure
Oh, yeah.
scenarios.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Abracadabra keeps coming up. I love Abracadabra very much.
Right.
What about you? That's right. Yeah, I remember that guy. What if it was like I'm just got struck by the notion of a public access Halloween special
Mhm.
that's gone awry.
Yep.
Like they kind of tried to do a
Yep.
War of the Worlds sort of thing, but then it actually came true or something.
Absolutely.
Oh, Mao the Demon King. Okay,
Yep. You could do a
that's
really
right.
fun variation on Into the Idiot Box with Madame Macabre hosting a Halloween movie marathon that gets supernaturally cursed and sucks the heroes into a series of terrible horror movies.
Oh, hey, RC brings up a really good point, and that is we've got over in the Free Ronin files, we've got the Nothing to Fear PDF, which is free.
Yep.
You download that, have some fun. SC Tamarind says, oh, here's an idea. A young man who wants closure uses his magic horn to speak with his departed father, who is a dead supervillain, but the young man makes the mistake of looking back as he leaves the veil between life and death, allowing his dead supervillain father to escape from the afterlife.
Yep.
Oh, and spirits of other dead
Then the
supervillains.
heroes have to figure out how to get them all back.
I like that.
At the behest of
stand by the
Hades, who
notion.
has upset somebody escape the underworld.
Right.
Yeah,
Who
stand
hasn't
by the
at one point
Jack
done that?
Knives would be a great Halloween slasher villain, says Doc Floyd.
Yes. In fact, Jack of Knives is basically every slasher villain at one point or another.
Yeah, is that a villain who inhabits sort of all of the rippers and the
Yes. Jack of Knives is basically the spirit of murder.
Whoa.
Who has been called up from the underworld and sent out every once in a while to possess, some serial killer, essentially, and give them supernatural power.
I love that. There's some excitement over Tom Cypress.
Yeah, if you want, especially if you want sort of a Frankenstein's monster type of bad guy, Tom Cypress is a great bad guy for that. And yes, the collective, just because it will make Alex squirm to talk about, a giant collective of psychic cockroaches.
Ugh. Oh gosh, that reminds me, guys. I was hanging out with our friends, the Kiwis, who were running a Cthulhu Awakens stream, and so it was really fun, but it was brutal. It was the rando stream, guys. The rando stream is super fun. We made our characters as we were playing, as we encountered a thing, and we activated that particular skill. It was wild though. They really did creep me out.
Nice.
Like I had a dream about it. Yeah. So you have to watch it, folks. But beware. Like if you're gonna watch it, don't be somebody who doesn't like the idea of insects crawling around under your skin. That's distressing. That might not be for you. Devious says spooky doesn't stop with Halloween though. Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, is a vibrant Mexican holiday. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely different than Halloween just culturally, but it is a time when loved ones can connect when the veil is thin and all that good stuff. Best Halloween companion, Morgan Lyons.
That's Morgan from the Silverthorn Academy.
That's Nate's character in that. Yeah, Living Dead Girl. I like that. Do you guys
do her body parts fall apart? She can do all sorts of fun stuff with them.
Yeah, absolutely. If like roll her head around, and yeah, she's remarkable. He says, "Do you guys do E3 update monster mashup?"
I think Monster Mash is in a 3rd edition.
Isn't Monster Mashup a 3rd edition thing? I thought, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Paul, I like that idea too. Dias de los Muertos would be a good option if you wanted to do a story where legacy heroes reconnect with their departed predecessors,
Yes,
pass on wisdom, and
it would be terrific for that.
Simon says yes, it's 3E. Oh, look at that dog.
Just stand still. Stop running around.
It's a big old dog.
But I'm a dog, and I don't wanna.
He's a big one.
My mom's new puppy. He is a big surprise for me.
RC, the
Jeez.
cliffhanger one shot shows us that the true horror all along was scheduling.
Yeah, we got to get back to it. We can finish that up.
Yeah, that's right. Where were we at on that? Where did we leave?
We left on part 2 of our 3-part one shot.
I love that. Dogs are good. Oh, Claude, there's this they overlay this audio on this girl who wants to pet a bear, but it's really audio from a kid saying, "Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?" It's very funny. Okay, my favorite scary. Yeah. Let's see. Dr. Shock's a Frankenstein monster and scientist.
Dr. Shock is both the monster and the scientist in one guy.
Absolutely. Devious, I'm ignoring that comment. 100% did not see it and will not comment. You need to do a Dino Mutt-like companion.
Oh, yeah?
There you go. Bionic dog.
The bionic dog. The $6 million dog.
The extensive with a, extending neck.
No, he doesn't need an extending neck. He's already getting in everything. Go on.
He's a little big for a lap dog, huh?
Yeah.
So in crafting all of, getting ready for, your Halloween horror encounter, what are some things that you would recommend people think about, or it's just some sound advice, especially if folks are like wanting to kind of tackle it for the first time as a GM or even as a player?
I think it's important to remember with scary stuff that often it's going to be hard to scare the characters because they're superheroes and they're super powerful. So you've got to start scaring the players instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that it depends on the kind of spookiness you want to go with, depending on the sort of vibe and tone of your game. Sometimes it's just the trappings of dealing with a ghost or a vampire or another supernatural monster that's sufficient to have a kind of a spooky touch to the game, and it doesn't have to get overly scary or gory or unpleasant. It's just this supervillain has a cool sort of ghostly theme to them, or that sort of a thing. And I think it's good to vary between the supernatural challenges that the heroes are having difficulty with because they don't necessarily know what's going on, or they don't necessarily have the right resources to deal with the problem, and the challenges that they can deal with, like a ghost who is raising an army of skeletons. For example, the heroes have to figure out a way to banish the ghost because they can't affect the ghost in any way, but they also have to fight a whole bunch of skeletons and keep them from doing a lot of damage. And that gives the heroes something else to do and a chance to do more of their traditional heroic superpower thing. Plus, it's also fun for heroes to smash up, opponents that they don't have to worry about breaking.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And making sure that your players are on board. Like if you ask the players to buy in, they will buy in with you, or tell them what to expect. Like, I would like this to be a spooky session. Primes them to start thinking in that way and acting in that way.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right. Ideally, you should, especially if you're going to get into real horror sort of elements, you should have had a discussion at your session 0 or prior to the adventure to have a clear sense of where all the boundaries are and what people are okay with, and that sort of a thing.
Yeah, safety tools intact and all that kind of good stuff, and just making sure
Yeah.
you're checking in with them. That, of course, is really, really, truly important. I think for me, I always try to lean just because it's just fun. Is leaning towards the more camp
Yeah,
sort of.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, Steve wrote a very great adventure that's very campy horror. Menace at Mystery Mountain.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Menace on
Love-
Mystery Mountain definitely has that, sort of camp horror element to it.
I was busy producing this particular live stream. Didn't we do the those animatronics that come alive kind of riff on?
That was a
Yeah.
different adventure, but yes.
That's Night
Yeah,
of
I
the
know it's
Living
definitely a
Robots.
different adventure, but
Yes, Night of the Living Robots.
Night of the Living Robots. That's right. I was trying to remember,
Yep.
but I know that we played that as a live stream.
Yep, we did.
How did they come alive?
Well, in their case, it's a rogue computer program
Ah.
that is bringing the animatronics to life. But it's actually a great example of how some technological and scientific stuff can also be horror in the right situation, especially when the characters are like, I don't know what's making these creepy robots come to life and attack people. Could be anything.
We should figure that out.
Right.
I love that. And so we've got so many things on sale. Jones, you just mentioned the Supernatural Handbook.
Yes, indeed. And
being on sale at Drive-Thru RPG.
In addition to the Supernatural Handbook being on sale, we have some Roll20 releases for Supernatural
We do
Handbook
indeed.
As well for folks who are using the Roll20 platform for their games. We've got the token pack, the character archetypes, and the monster archetypes for Supernatural Handbook up on Roll20. And as Devious points out, Supernatural Handbook is also part of the Humble Bundle if you want to just get all of it.
All of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a confluence of sales and events and such, which is amazing. Let's see. One interesting superpowered by M&M adventure I've seen is Rave of the Dead by Fainting Goat Games.
It's a very
Cool.
evocative title.
Yeah, it really is.
Fainting Goat does
Good
great
name.
stuff. So
Yeah, phenomenal stuff. Yeah, thank you, RC, for the link to Roll20. And so check all those things out as well. It is just an embarrassment of Halloween riches. So many for you to buy and to own. And if you own them already, hey, I have a question for Kat though. When you're running your games, do you run, or when you're running a Halloween theme kind of, or spooky, let's just say spooky, do you tend to lean towards more camp, or do you tend to go like, Saw, what is the, or is this something more like in the middle?
I'm not a big fan of like gory or really like psychological horror. So I tend to go pretty campy with that sort of stuff myself.
Yeah, same. How about you, Alex?
There's a dog drinking water aggressively behind my microphone. So that's probably all.
That's what that was.
I go for both. I like psychological horror. I also like campy stuff. It's very group dependent for me.
Yeah.
And what kind of story I'm trying to tell, because generally with Mutants and Masterminds, I want to do more campy stuff because the players are so much more powerful.
Right.
Although I've done a lot of action horror stuff, like the Lost Library could be definitely run in a horror way.
Yeah, certainly.
The mummies and the tombs and all that fun stuff.
Right.
All right.
Mummified baboons.
Right. Yeah. RC says I definitely lean more towards horror movie style, though my players, Quinn and Troy, don't always match the vibe. Yeah. Sorry. We were going a little more ridiculous, for sure. Paul says I tend to veer more towards abominable Doctor
vibes.
Jigsaw. Yeah. Halloween is for mummy baboons, or is that baboon mummies? A link to the Lost Library.
Yeah,
Nice.
I really like a
I think
Penny
they're properly
Dreadful
referred
vibe.
to as mummy baboons, aren't they?
I think that's how you. Yeah. What were you saying, Alex?
I said I tend to like a Penny Dreadful vibe too, like just sort of
Mm,
Oh yeah.
horror, but also a little campy, a little slapsticky.
yeah.
Well, let's break that out real fast. Let's talk about, as much as we can. I mean, it's such an expansive and ever sort of evolving genre of horror. We talked about camp. We talked about like, torture porn kind of stuff, which is just, not my bag either. Um, what other sort of subgenres are there?
Oh,
Okay.
Eldritch horror tends to be really popular
Yep.
with gamers, especially the
Indeed.
Cthulhu mythos stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's you can do a lot with body horror in superheroes. And, with sort of weird transformative stuff when
Oh,
if the
sure.
characters are inflicted with a curse or a nanovirus or something
Yeah.
that is affecting them internally.
Yeah. That one time
That
Spider-Man gave birth to himself.
right,
Oh.
right, or just grew multiple arms, or
Mhm.
turned into a giant human-sized spider.
Do you think that are there finer genres around the camp stuff? Like, sure, there's Scooby Doo, there's kind of Elvira, it kind of falls into its own category, or Vincent Price and John
Yeah.
Waters can kind of do that a little bit.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think Elvira, Vincent Price, Adam's Family is all sort of in that same like
Yeah.
horror is fun subgenre.
Yep. Yep. And you could see, more sort of modern interpretations of that, like the Wednesday series on
Mhm.
Netflix.
Oh, sure.
Kind of draws from that heritage, but is also has a more modern sensibility to it, and is a little more, pushes things a little further than the original Addams Family show ever did.
Oh, Paul brings up comic book monsters like Man Thing, Morbius,
Yep.
Tomb of Dracula. I think about like some of the Trauma. Is it Traumaville? Like the swamp monster, or like irradiated something, or
Mhm.
maybe that's more camp than but I
It
can totally see that.
can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it sort of in the action horror section because they're
Yeah.
monsters as superheroes.
Right.
Yeah, the Paul, what you mentioned, this sort of like the classic Hollywood, monster, like, Bride of
Yeah.
Frankenstein, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
What about
I mean,
horror with go ahead.
you could see, DC's upcoming Creature Commandos, is basically, classic movie monsters as the Suicide Squad, essentially.
Yeah, fun. Yeah. Temple brings up this. This is interesting. What about horror with stuff you're really already familiar with, like 1984, or There's No Monsters, We're the Monsters,
Yeah,
kind of
sort
thing?
of
Yeah.
elevated psychological horror stuff.
Yep. You can do a
Sure.
lot of really spooky horror with the sort of just gnawing conspiracies sort of scenario, stuff like They Live, and other sorts of things, Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
Mhm.
just
Oh,
the whole sort of sense of everybody is not who or what they appear to be. And there's everything is just sort of slightly off in some
yeah.
fashion. You could do a great, sort of Halloween style horror story, like Alex was talking about, inspired by War of the Worlds, where the Gru have staged an invasion, and there's all sorts of shapeshifters around, and you don't know who to trust, and you don't know who is who. That can be a really creepy, sort of scenario, especially if you couple it with, sort of an isolation element or something else that,
Mhm.
means the characters have to confront these, people who may or may not be who they seem to be.
Oh, I think about also just straight up ghost story, like,
Yep,
Poltergeist and that kind of, yeah, just
absolutely.
a
Yeah.
haunting.
I really like that sort of espionage horror aspect. Like we don't know who to trust, who's the villain is, what's going on. Sort of closed like bottle mysteries or
Right.
There's something about also the idea of turning those ideas on their head, and instead the heroes are called to get rid of the humans in the ghost's house, Beetlejuice sort of style kind of thing.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
like a
Bio exorcist.
You could definitely play around with that a lot, especially if the heroes are more of a mystical bent. You know,
Mhm.
if they're a team of more magical characters, maybe their job is really protecting the magical world from us. You know, at
Yes.
least sometimes. And you know that
Humans are the
it's one
monsters
of those
all along.
situations where this time of year is where all of the magical and supernatural beings are like, oh, it's the worst. Like humans won't leave us
Yes.
alone. You know, people are
They keep
accidentally
summoning
summoning us all the time.
I'm not even
I
supposed
don't
to
look
be
at it all
here
like
today.
that. Like kids dress up as a ghost. They're like, I don't even look at it all like that. When
Right? I don't look
when
anything like that. That's ridiculous.
I
You know,
like
who
that.
who dies just wearing a sheet? You know, I mean, and honestly,
Right.
if they do, chances are they belong with whatever punishment they're getting.
Yeah.
Right. That's good stuff. Yeah, that is super fun. It would just be really a very interesting to get the players to calibrate suddenly to this shift. With a lot of fun.
Right.
That could be
Right. And you can even
good to
play
have.
around with that from a non-player character perspective of, hey, even if it's not the player characters who are doing that, maybe there are some NPCs who are doing that, and they are working the other side of the street, and the
Yes.
player characters have to figure out a way to team up with them after, of course, the initial misunderstanding where they think they're the monsters.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Fun. Super fun. Let's see. I'm reading some of these. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think I saw the murder mystery. Sure. That can give you
Hmm.
the appropriate amount of spooky feeling and vibe. Kind of a clue-based adventure, sort of. Let's see.
Yeah. I think
How
meta
about
horror is also a great genre to deal with, especially with gamers.
Yeah.
Um, just thinking like Scream or like The Rise of Leslie Vernon. That's a great documentary about a slasher villain. That would be a
Hmm.
ton of fun. Or just thinking for M&M terms, like, what if you were the minions of a horror-based villain and that's your adventure, is setting up the haunted house to get ready for the heroes to come?
Right.
Oh, that is clever. Yeah,
Being a
really, really
scare
fun.
actor.
Yeah, kind of putting it on the players to kind of build almost like a mousetrap kind of
Hmm.
haunted
Mhm.
experience. Yeah, yeah, jump scares and traps
Yeah.
and things, and yeah.
Yeah. Paul points out a real key element of the genre is often that there's an investigative part of
Yes.
figuring out basically the thing you need to solve the whole thing. You know, what is the creature's weakness? What's its origin? You know, what is the thing you need to have or do in order to defeat it? Those sorts of things, and that's often a key element of the adventure is how do the characters figure out what this monster is and how they're going to stop it.
Right, right. Oh, Tempo brings up Silent Hill. That is kind of, there's a whole, when you think about Japanese horror, there's
Mm,
a whole genre unto itself. Like they're all very terrified culturally of that kind of ghostly girl with the white gown
yep.
standing in, that's not a fun practical joke for them to run into her in a hallway or an elevator or
Hmm.
Well, and
um
the Silent Hill makes me think that one of the things to keep in mind when you're GMing a horror game is that it is an interactive media, and it doesn't go on until the players engage with it.
Right.
Like, it's not watching a
right.
scary movie where you can close your eyes and the scary part will go on. You actually have to like do it.
Architect it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh
Oh,
no
Tempo
scrappy
mentioned
do.
Alma. Alma's great. She's from the Fear game.
Mm,
No, say that again.
Tempo mentions a character named Alma, who's another one of those scary little girls with telekinetic powers. She's from a video game called Fear.
yeah.
I like that. What would Carrie fall under as far as,
Oh,
because I could
definitely
see that.
in the scary telekinetic girl genre. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you
Um
know that came up earlier when we were talking about the notion of hauntings. Is another classic trope is the psychic power as haunting. You know, it might
yes.
be a disturbed, teen or someone else whose, psychic abilities are causing this poltergeist phenomenon or these hallucinations or other hauntings, and it's not supernatural at all. But the
That's
characters have to
awesome.
have to find the source of this haunting and deal with it in a different way.
Doc Floyd mentions Firestarter. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, another great example of that.
Let's see. Carrie is pretty much a superhero, supervillain origin story. Yeah, it really is.
Yep.
I mean, Firestarter
Can
as well,
be.
right? Yeah.
Can be.
Another
And
story
how the
where-
heroes end up. What's that, Alex?
So another story where the humans are the villains all along.
Right. And
The
another one of
humans-
those scenarios of depending on how the heroes handle the problem, the character with those powers may go on to be a villain or a hero, depending on how things go, and just how traumatized they are by the whole experience.
Hey, see you, Squire. Yeah, Squire says, "Gotta go. See y'all later. Have a great week. Go vote." Yes.
Yes, go vote. Vote like your life depends on it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Alice. Is it pronounced Alice? Gillespie from Silent Hill is also the tragic villainess for horror. Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that. Yeah, psychic powers can make one vulnerable to possession. Yeah, as can
Yep.
mental illness. Sure.
Yep. And that brings up oftentimes it's generally more interesting to have NPCs get possessed in adventures because it poses the issue for the heroes of how they deal with evicting the entity without harming the host.
Yeah.
You can get players on board for their characters to get possessed if they're like all in for it and they're willing to play it, effectively so that it's not taking them out of the game. But that's one of those things to really work out with a player ahead of time, as far as that goes, to make sure that they're completely on board with their character having that role in the adventure, and you're not just snatching the player's agency away from them and making them
Right.
sit and watch their character do things for however long that takes.
Yeah.
It could be an interesting
player-
opportunity too. Okay.
With player permission, it's a good way to explain why their character's absent from a session if they can't make it.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. Also, an opportunity for maybe a player to flex a little bit of their, sort of role playing skills to play the
Yes.
opposite of their character as a possession, kind of.
Yes, that is absolutely true. The only thing in my experience you have to be very careful about in those cases where you hand a player a villain role of one kind or
Yeah.
another is make sure they're not too good at it.
That's right.
'Cause sometimes some players get a
boundaries.
little too into it, and
Yeah.
before you know it, they've accidentally, wiped out the entire player character group.
That's right.
Yeah.
Somebody's crying, someone's angry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
one
that
of those
gets awkward.
scenarios that can be very fraught. Like either they're too good at it or they're not good enough at it.
Right.
Right.
Or
Where
they
they're
shy away
trying to
from it.
find all sorts of ways to pull their punches. Like it's a hard thing to accommodate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a tricky
absolutely.
line to
Yeah.
walk. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely need to spend a little time coaching and talking and sort of establishing those boundaries. But holy smokes, it is almost time for us to be done, and we've only haunted, a couple things. So,
Right.
hey guys, awesome conversation. What first? Let's talk about Steve. What's going on in your world in the Steve Wilkinson cinematic universe?
So I finished up the last couple of Hero High conversion characters folks will be seeing on the Atomic Think Tank. Um, uh, and Gene, I can tell you that Chrono Crisis 2 is being queued up for release fairly soon. It has finished up in production, so it is pretty much just up to ops on when they want to schedule its release. So you should be seeing it soon. And I just finished up my next M&M mix-up in space, and I think folks will have some fun with that as well.
Nice, very nice. How about you, Axolotl? Is that saying that right?
That's how I pronounce it, but apparently it's pronounced a different way in Mesoamerica.
Well,
Bobby
leave it
Core
to
was
us.
mentioning earlier.
All right, go for it. What's going on in your world?
I got a really exciting thing in my email this morning that the Valiant Handbook is back from editing, so it'll be ready for production
Excellent.
soon.
Very nice.
I've got a mix-up coming up on Wednesday with Boo at the Zoo with Doc Holliday. And
Love
I'll be
that.
doing a Joy of Game Mastering tomorrow, talking about how to keep things fresh. So lots of good stuff this week.
Hey, I like that. Funky fresh. We've also got tons of stuff happening calendar wise. We'll get into that a little bit when we do we're going to segue to what's in the tank. But this month, not this month, November, I believe, we have an actual play scheduled, which is
Good.
awesome. Yeah. You're like, hooray. So that to look forward to. All kinds of good stuff happening in the tank as well. All right, guys. Well, thank you for haunting.
Actually, one more thing. If you're part of the Cape and Cal Club over on the Atomic Think Tank, we have an outline for the Pinewood project that we are looking for.
Yes.
So if you're interested in working on that project, head over there and check out the outline and see what looks like fun to write.
Is that the coolest thing or what? That
Right?
Pinewood project is so much
It's
fun.
gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really, really great. Yeah,
Send
we'll
me
talk more
lots
about
of good vibes because of this dog.
that. I think you got all the good doggy vibes. You're like, where did it go? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for haunting the stream today, and chat. Thank you as well for being polter guests, and hang tight because we've got what's in the tank. We've got Devious who'll be joining us here just in just a moment. But first, I'm going to play this. Take care, guys.
Of Gods and Game Masters creates exceptional supplements for your role-playing games, including, but not limited to, the Danger Dossiers for Mutants and Masterminds, putting the super in supervillains. Fully realized villains with depth, complete with their background, motivations, stat block, personality, and adventure hooks. Find them on DriveThruRPG, as well as in the Game Masters Horde at ofgodsandgamemasters.com/store. And keep your eye out for my superhero horror setting, Barrow, kickstarting early next year. Imagine Gotham was also Ravenloft. Get signed up for updates on my website at ofgodsandgamemasters.com/Barrow.
Hey, friends, it's me, Disembodied Troy. Listen, we don't have a lot of time left in October, but we still have a lot of great events. Here's what's going on. On Tuesday, the 29th of October, the Untold Stories Project is running a Cthulhu Awakens actual play called Echoes at the Threshold that starts at 4 p.m. Pacific, guaranteed to be very spooky. Find them at the QR code, bottom right of your screen. Then, on Wednesday, October 30th, a new event, a weekly event every single Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. It's Get Tanked with Troy. This is Troy's office hours. You need to hang out with me, ask any questions you got. Maybe you need some art. Maybe you need to talk about a collaboration that you want to do. Maybe you've got a new live stream, or maybe you just want to hang out and have some fun. It's all happening in the tank. All you have to do is go to atomicthinktank.com. You'll see in the event calendar, Get Tanked with Troy, and there's a Zoom link. Once that meeting goes live, you get to hang out live with me. We'll talk about all kinds of good stuff. It'll be fun, I guarantee. Later that evening, Abraxas Precipice is running the Expanse RPG actual play, 6 p.m. Pacific. Join them by using the QR code in the top right side of your screen. And then the big day, Thursday, the 31st of October, it's Spooky Thursday. So that's at 2 p.m. Pacific. I do hope you'll join. I will look forward to seeing you. And buckle up. November's right around the corner.
Anyway, if the Division of Child Services said that, the duct tape and cattle prod method of child rearing was not, acceptable. So yeah, it was good enough for my Miwa to raise me. Are we live? Are we live?
We are
Troy,
live.
are you there?
Yes,
oh,
I am.
oh goodness. Anyway, never mind that. So anyway, hi,
Yes.
Troy.
Well, you know what time it is.
What time is that?
It's time for...
Please remain calm. There is no reason to panic. An identification bot will be along shortly to tattoo your new approved number on your forehead. Resistance is futile. Do not panic. And answer us. What is in the tank? Tank, 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 tank. Malfunction, malfunction, malfunction. Please remain calm.
I love it. It's what's in the tank, friends. And this is when Devious and I get to hang out and we get to talk about all the good stuff in the tank. Now, Devious, tell us a little bit about who you are.
I am Devious Hearts, and a other disembodied entity from the depths of Missouri. Hell, Missouri, same difference. Anyway, and I am here to tell you that I am here for you. If you got questions about Mutants and Masterminds, if you want to talk about Mutants and Masterminds, that's what the tank is for, and I'm here to help you in any way, shape, or form that I can. Let's do it. Let's get in the tank.
Let's get in the tank. I love it. Of course, when we say tank, we're talking about the Atomic Think Tank. The Atomic Think Tank is a community hub. It's a place for people to come and hang out. It's not all about Mutants and Masterminds. It's about all of our age games. It's about events that we're having and hosting. For instance, some folks may see on the calendar in the coming days something along the lines of a release, for another engine, which is our, age magazine, all just chock full of really good stuff. You'll see that coming soon. It's also dev chats. It's all kinds of good stuff. Now, listen, all the stuff that we're talking about is free. You don't have to pay for it. You just sign up. You pay for it by just like all of the great sort of stuff that you have to read, and time is money. But there's also the Cape and Cowl Club, which is another $8 membership for Mutants and Masterminds. You get access. It's really an elevated. You're a part of the Cape and Cowl. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Cape and Cowl is great, man. We've had a lot of dev talks where we talked with you, Steve, and Alex, all about the things coming down the pike for Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition. Got some really great insight into writing for Green Ronin and what that's like, and how to create different things like a source book as compared to an adventure, and just a lot of really great writing tips, and I think it's a great way to insight. Not to mention there's, of course, the Pinewood Project. The Pinewood Project is amazing. It's going to be so fun. Just to tell you a little bit about that. That's Alex's baby. Alex basically is a town in Ohio, little town in Ohio, in Earth Prime, that strange occurrences occur in. And well, it's a kind of a low power level source book to get into, like, everything from maybe you're a retired superhero, maybe you're a kid with powers, and maybe you're just a kid. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can approach playing there, and a lot of mystery or pesky kids and their dog, or not,
right? Exactly. Well, and folks might remember Alex's wanting to do basically kind of inspired by the conversations we were having about sort of a superheroes scenarios in the rural areas, like kind of country heroes and that kind of thing. And that's kind of where that genesis came from. And the actual activity is workshops. Basically, Steve and Alex run an ongoing workshop on how to prepare and create in the TTRPG space, which goes beyond sort of Green Ronin, and it's just basically talking about, it's like an insider's look at how to develop stuff. And it's phenomenal. It's great to not get to listen in and help facilitate a little bit, but it is just to hear everybody kind of the creative wheels start going, and we could end up doing that for hours and hours and hours, just because it's so fun. Yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit of the Atomic Think Tank goodness, and you are welcome to join us, and you do that by going to atomicthinktank.com, and you answer 3 simple questions, and you're in like Flynn. We are quickly, very, very quickly reaching 1,000 people.
That's right.
So yeah, super stoked about it. Anyway, so
Looking
yeah,
forward to
so
it.
Doc-
And you know,
Go ahead.
I did play up Mutants Masterminds a lot because, you know, frankly, that's my jam. But
It
they've
is,
got
yeah.
Age, they've got Cthulhu Awakens, they've got Blue Rose, they've
That's
got
right.
The Expanse, they've got just all sorts of wonderful games within Age to get into. So, you know, if you like Green Ronin products, that's the place to be. If you just want to talk role playing games, that's the place to be. It's a great place to hang out, talk, read, do articles, etc.
Let's see. Claude asks, who would be best to reach out to in order to be featured in the Atomic Think Tank after Moo Mammo segment? Me, of course. I'm your guy. Reach out to me and we'll sort out what your request might mean. And the perfect time to do that is during my office hours. So join me Wednesdays. Generally speaking, every Wednesday, join me and hang out in the think tank. What I do is I run a Zoom meeting, and you just jump in and we talk live. See you, Doc. Enjoy your dinner. Yeah, so you come in and you know how to get a hold of me for sure. What was the name of the town again? Pinewood.
Pinewood,
Yeah,
Ohio.
like this. Oh, so different than the other weird small towns described in the Atlas of Earth Prime. That's right.
Yes,
That's
different from those. Yes.
very different. But different in the way that it's really it's like a boot camp for for learning how to do this stuff. It's really, really fun.
Oh yeah,
Um,
fantastic. Absolutely.
nice.
I'm
Okay,
learning so
great.
much.
Yeah, so and if you've got something cooking on your calendar, friends, specific to Mutants Masterminds, ping me, and I will add it to the to our big calendar, and we'll be sure to capture everybody. Even if you're just wanting to do something, it doesn't have to be a huge live stream or anything. It could be something. Maybe you want to host a salon, a discussion about some aspect of Mutants Masterminds. Maybe you want to write an article. You can do all that stuff, and you get to basically contribute in the way that Devious is going to run down here now. All kinds of great ways to lend your expertise to the community.
Absolutely. So, Troy, do you have a question for me?
I do. What's the question? Is the question what is the question?
What's in the
What?
tank?
Oh, I thought I already did that. Yes, what's in the tank? Here it is.
Well, new in Freedom City Library, I just did an article on stress, fear, madness, and despair in M&M. It's appropriate for like a horror-based game when basically it's mental stress as damage. Fear, madness, and despair can actually cause not only uh, uh, conditions to you, but also can wear away at you. You can either do a separate track for damage, like just have one for mental, one for damage, and have it only affect will saves, or you could make it an actual damaging thing to go along with your actual physical damage as well.
Yeah,
Because
a lot like real life.
yeah, if you get stressed out, that does affect you physically.
That's right.
Chris Davies has Empty Night Prologue. I did a little thing on Did You Know rules clarifications regarding increased duration. I had always thought that you could use that particular modifier to basically take a damage power down to sustained on duration. I was wrong. I had always done it with Hero Lab, but it turns out that is not a legal use of that modifier. After carefully
Oh.
rereading, somebody pointed out to me, I believe it was Holman on Freedom City. We talked about it, and it was eye-opening. I had a really good talk with him and learned a lot there. Also, Paul Rua put up, because we have the Boogeyman challenge, he put a Boogeyman of the World map up for everybody to peruse. I did an
I'm talking
article.
about the Boogeyman of the World map. Now, was that
Oh,
like to populate or to already populated, or just sort of like I love that. Oh, look at that. That's great. What a great resource.
oh yeah. So basically, anybody who wants to get in. Now, the Boogeyman challenge, I have to tell you, is over. We already have a winner.
We do.
We do, but
Yes.
we're not quite there yet. We'll get there.
I'm
We're
excited.
going to
I'm
hold
excited.
you in suspense for a wee bit longer. We apologize because we have to go through just a few more articles. We got preparing a superhero TTRPG. There is a fantastic YouTuber by the name of Astral Marmot, and she does these very, very great deep dives on preparing for role-playing games and doing things like that. And to truth be told, I just basically reiterated a lot of what she said in her video, but there is a link for her video in that article. I also play her up as well, so you can go there, follow that, and hear it straight from the Astral Mormon's mouth if you want to. But I kind of try to put it in terms of a superhero role-playing game in Mutants and Masterminds specifically in the article I did.
Gotcha.
Finally, Paul Rua has a superpower. Paul Rua's superpower is making weird things into superheroes in superhero comics. His superpower is basically fake dog breeds. There was a thing
Open
where,
that up.
oh yeah, Turn fake dog breeds. I've been told people is at the dog park: the Venetian Dabney, Brown Feta, Waxbeard, Oxnard Pike, Blue Hustler, and High Presbyterian.
High Presbyterian.
And he said, "Here's what what happened after I ran it through the weird machine that is my brain. Criminal scum, beware the wrath of the Blue Hustler. Curse you, Blue Hustler! But it'll take more than you to stop Waxbeard. How about if I lend a hand? The High Presbyterian. But I have a special surprise for you. Brown Feta, how did you know?" It's of course but yeah, it's
That's
definitely
awesome.
worth a read. Definitely worth a read. And we had a few articles in the Freedom City Library, but man, people got on fire this week with the Aegis files. We've got, of course,
Yeah.
Steinbrewer and Chris Davies, always bringing it. There's a reason why they are the national directors, co-directors of the Aegis files, with over 50 entries each in the think tank. But also the Boogeyman contest got us a number of entries as well. Paul Rua, Matt Mabray, Jack Kellum got in there twice, as a matter of fact, and Jason Cochran.
Nice.
And also Brandon Brewer, newcomer Brandon Brewer, bringing it with his Next Gen Revolution, just in time in the Reaper.
Cool.
Jack Helm also put in another member of the superhero group that he runs, Turbo, the super speed new kid. And well, Chris Davies there again. He's kind of almost like, he's almost bookends. He has one at the top, one at the bottom, I think one in the middle too, but that's Chris Davies. Now
Tails to the smirch.
that's right. Now the Boogeyman contest has ended with 5 entries. Who won? Will Paul Rua win his 3rd Green Running? Will it be of Gods and Game Masters guru Jack Kellum, or last week's champ Matt Mabray, or will it be the Thunder from Down Under, Jason Cochran? We'll tell you in just a little while. But before we do that,
Oh, sorry.
right.
I premature.
You got excited. I understand.
I did.
Yes, but anyway, the phenomenal Humble Bundle that is up there that you guys announced.
That's right.
Wow, it's in the news here. If you need it, there's the link for it. But in this bundle, there is a Mutants Masterminds 3rd edition book, Power Profiles, Gadget Guides, Emerald City, Freedom City, Rogues Gallery, it's Supernatural Handbook, if you Danger Zones, if you want to run Power Mutants Masterminds, this is the bundle to get. If you want to bring somebody into Mutants and Masterminds, this is the bundle to get for $18.
Yes.
$18. You get that. That's almost $400 worth of books, I believe. Just there.
It's
for
$364 worth of books, and you got the that's the entire 19 item bundle. Then there's the 7 item bundle and the 2 item bundle, and it is for the entire 19 you pay at least $18. For the 7 you pay at least 10, and for the 2 pay at least 1.
And it benefits the World Central Kitchen.
That's right.
It's for a good cause. You benefit, they benefit, everybody benefits.
Well, here's the thing I want people to be ready for is that people are going to be coming in droves, asking about, they'll be doing it everywhere. They'll be doing it on Reddit. They'll be coming to the think tank. They'll be coming to the show. All of this is an opportunity for us to welcome new folks in and make sure that they've got everything they need when it comes to running a game of Mutants and Masterminds.
Absolutely. It's a great way to onboard new players. If
Mhm.
you think somebody's, I've been thinking about it, but I don't know about buying all the books. Boom, there you go. That's all you need. Get
You know
it.
what I
Get
would do if I were you, friends? I would say, even if you're like, I want this person to GM some M&M. I want to see that happen. Pick them up the bundle. $18.
Christmas is around the corner. What a great
Yes.
gift.
Yeah. And I was
I mean-
serious about that idea of running a super powered family Christmas thing. I mean, like, you're sitting around, like, I mean, maybe you have board game and you play Monopoly and you end up in fist fights. This time you can sort of all together, have a fist fight with a bad guy.
Yeah.
Love
Beat
that.
them up. Make it a collaborative experience,
Mhm.
beating up the bad guy with mom and the kids and
grandma.
and grandma. Don't forget Meemaw. She packs a wallop.
He does indeed.
Oh, it's the cattle prod mainly. Anyway, Steve Kenson wants to know, by the way, what are your Mutants and Masterminds house rules and what are your favorite third-party M&M rules? The creator of Mutants and Masterminds himself, hard at work on crafting the new Valiant rules and perhaps the rules for newer versions of our own beloved system, wants your input. What are the house rules that work for you? Let him know in the respective articles I link there. Next, mirror on the wall. What is the next Mumemo challenge?
Oh.
Now, I've already talked about, of course, the stress, fear, madness, despair. Just basically I wanted to feature that a little bit. Also, the Boogeymen of the World map that
Mhm.
we've already showed. These are the 5 entries for the Boogeymen contest. We have the Carney, which is a sinister carnival character prowls in the shadows, embodying fear and mystery. Its eerie presence unsettles all who cross its path, drawing them into a twisted world of chills and thrills. We have the Men in Black by Matt Mabry. The enigmatic figures go beyond urban legends, enforcing secrets and inspiring dread wherever they appear. We've got Pack, a very special werewolf. Very, very cool rule usage there by Jack Kellum in using duplicate for werewolves to make werewolves. Also, I hope I pronounce this right. Der Grobman, aka the Slender Man, Jack
I think it's
Kellum again.
Grossman. I think that's actually S's.
Grossman. How
I
is that?
believe. Is that right, friends? I think that's. Yeah, I think that's those are S's. I would
Yes.
think.
Never forget Turbo Granny says some good soup. I agree. Turbo Granny. That's because she had that meth habit for a while, but she's much better now. Anyway, and then of course the Jolly Swagman by Jason Cochran and.
I love it.
And I think this is a late entry, but he just didn't get it in on time, or either he doesn't want to offend the character itself. Waffle House Joe by Paul.
I
Ruhr.
saw that pop up. I love it. Roscoe the Fighting Chicken.
That's right. Roscoe the Fighting Chicken is next. But again, Paul Ruhr said I can take anything and make a superhero comic. I said, oh yeah, how about a waffle iron? Challenge accepted, said Paul Ruhr. But should we go ahead and let folks know who the winner is? Should we tell them who won the coveted Green Ronini? All right.
Yes.
All ready? Yes. The winner is Jack of Gods and Game Masters Kellum with Pack.
I'm telling you, that guy is getting all the love.
Oh yeah, he's got it coming, man.
Hey, listen, I gotta tell you, he definitely does. That isn't to say everyone isn't worthy of love, but I will also say that was a random dice roll.
Oh yeah,
rolled by my very own fingers.
Pack. Yeah, there she is in all her splendor.
Now, I have to ask Jack, did you like I kind of took some liberties with this special werewolf at the end of your little advertisement. Also, I want to thank you, Jack, for being the very first person to take me up on that advertising for Mumemo. And so if you're out there and you got a thing cooking, let's talk about it. Like, tell me, like, I want to see some stuff for maybe you're running a long time podcast that's like on its 70th year. Maybe it's about mayhem and some masks or something. Let's get send me your audio. We'll make it fun, and then I'll have a library of things that I can play during the show. Hey, Stan says, what you got cooking? we are. We are. I really would love to see that. Stan, that stands for you too. If you had something you wanted us to advertise, we would do that. Oh, you know what? I just remembered Stan, our very own Stan, Staniel the Manual, as I like to call him. You have a Kickstarter, don't you, Stan? I know you probably can't drop a link, and I should change that. But Stan, I'm getting there. It's the calendar. It's the calendar. The fantasy art calendar. And I'm going to drop that link in chat.
I'm nothing if not subtle, says Stan.
Yeah, exactly. It ends tomorrow. Okay, everybody, get over to Kickstarter. You know what? Stan is a good buddy to us. He hangs out. He is often known to draw, what's going on stream, which is always a lot of fun. He's been on stream with us in the past. We've had a blast, and he's a good dear friend. So head on over there and give that Kickstarter some love.
Absolutely. But we also have something else to discuss. There is one more thing that we should tell them about the next contest. And you know what? We gave you guys a week for the last one. Guess what? We're going to give you another week for this next one as well, because the discussion topic of next Moo Memo, Mirror Universe. This next one is Mirror Contest. What if good was evil and evil was good? In the mystifying spirit of alternate reality, the Atomic Think Tank is thrilled to present the Mirror Contest. This is your chance to explore a mirror universe where heroes come villains and villains shine as paragons of virtue. Dive into the dark reflection of your imagination and create a twisted version of either an iconic Earth Prime character, excluding the Freedom League, because they already have done that.
Yeah.
And or one of your own previous Aegis Files entries. You can
must be your own.
Yeah. And
what if you wanted to pick, like, I didn't make Waffle Joe, but what if I wanted to do that?
Yeah, you could. Well, what would be the evil version of Waffle? You can't be
Pancake Pete.
Pancake Pete.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pancake.
Pancake.
Pancake. So choose a character. Like I said, an Earth Prime character, non-Freedom League, or one of your own for past Aegis Files. Develop a compelling history that explains why this version of the character embodies the reverse of the original moral alignment, or vice versa. You could do, if they are evil, they're now good in this. Remember, it's mirror. So it's just basically the reverse of whatever their original moral alignment was. Explore their motives and personalities and how they've shifted in this mirror reality. You could do an alternate universe where maybe it's not all mirror, but there before the grace of God go I. Something along the lines of The Nail, the DC book where basically Ma and Pa Kent never got to the rocket ship because a nail gave him a flat tire and changed the course of history with Superman.
Sure. Butterfly wings,
exactly. Get into the details, flesh out how the character operates in this mirror universe, what drives them, how they interact with others in this alternate world, and the hashtags you want to put on there in addition to the Moo Memo challenges: Mirror Contest, hashtag Mirror Contest. Bonus points for originality, unexpected interpretations, and clever transformations that make the character feel both familiar and intriguingly new, and for additional universe building details like mirror world allies and enemies. This has got to be in by November 3rd. That's this upcoming Sunday by 5 p.m. Central Standard Times, and we'll announce it on Moo Mamo following. And of course,
love it.
The prize, the prestigious, the coveted Green Ronini. And
that's right.
Plus, a digital gift from the Atomic Think Tank team, your choice of one PDF from the Green Ronin store.
The library, you just go there, you just point at it, and then you get it.
That's right. It's yours. But I tell you what, I'm going to sweeten the pot a little on this one. That's right. If you get it, you can either get choice of one PDF from the Green Run store, or I'll foot the bill for the $18 it takes to buy you the Humble Bundle.
Look at that.
Look at this. Look at this Humble Bundle.
This is very big. Can you make it a little smaller?
You get the Deluxe Heroes Handbook, the Deluxe Game Master's Guide, Atlas of Earth Prime, Freedom City, Emerald City, Power Profiles. It's a book I swear by. I love that book. gadget guides, Rogues Gallery.
Is there a way? Can you make that? Can you make your screen just a little bit smaller? It's
Sure,
so
no problem. Hold on. My bad,
just
my
so
bad.
people can kind of no worries. I just want to make sure people could see all the goodness.
Look at all this.
Look at all the goodness.
One moment. There you go. Actually, I can probably go one bigger. There we go.
Yeah.
That's in. There,
That
look
looks
at
good.
this. Yeah, Mutants Masterminds Deluxe Hero. Look, Emerald say, look at all this. Look at all this Supernatural Handbook, Cosmic Handbook, Hero High, Basic Heroes, Super Team Handbook, Time Travelers Codex, Danger Zone, Star Haven, Threat Report, and of course, Astonishing Adventures Assembled. These are all the compilation books that they put together throughout the years. This is just too good
It's everything.
to ignore.
I mean, you will honestly this
caboodle.
picking up the 19-item bundle will give you. I mean, there are people. I think part of. Bye, Gene. Are you leaving? See you, my friend.
Take care, Gene.
Picking up that bundle, you will be better equipped in your library than some fans, some super fans.
That's right. So again, the prize for Mirror Mirror, you can either do the one PDF of your choice, and remember they have the first and second edition bundle in the Green Ronin store. So if you want to get all the old ones, you can get that from Troy. Or if you want, I'll foot the bill for the $18 it takes you to get the Humble bundle that's up here. I mean,
given that this is we'll cover that. I mean, I don't want you to. I do appreciate you putting your money.
I'm gonna do
this
it.
is not going to be a Nate situation, sir.
Oh, I think I can out Nate. I can do it.
Idea. I'll tell you, there's nothing more enjoyable, and I just is the word. I gotta look it up before I say it because I don't know. I'm trying to say something nice here. The Mutants and Masterminds community is so generous. So they're givers, and they really want people to join and be a part of, and they listen. It's talking about great ideas and amplifying. It's a yes and kind of community. It is really amazing, and so this is just an example of that. Devious being a very generous person, and a great booster for Mutants and Masterminds, and of course the Atomic Think Tank.
We are missing
awesome.
some magic in the chat right now. Because
Watching
the question was, how are you going to make a bad guy out of Waffle Jack? How can they like the felonious Flapjack?
I know.
French Toast Freddy from Some Good Soup, but my favorite so far has got to be Creep Suzette.
It's so good. It's just really, I can totally see it.
Again, that was a collab between Stan and Paul. That's awesome.
Looking at Griddle Cake Gary with the side eye. Now that Gary is up to no good.
And the short order crooks.
Hair fryer. Yes. So good.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Amazing stuff.
Well,
gotta love it.
That is unfortunately all I have this week, but I'll be assembling more, of course, for next week's What's in the Tank. In the meantime, guys, come on, bring it. We want your participation. We want your spectatorness. We want you to come look at what we've done if you like it. We do ask that you try to put a heart on something that you like, just so we know it's out there and just so we know to keep doing what we're doing if that's something that you did.
Lurk if you must, and that is okay. We are 100% pro lurker, but don't, give a little heart here, there. You let people know you're reading and you're enjoying it, even if you enjoy it like 70%. Give it a little. Yeah, everybody in the tank for sure. Yeah. I want to remind everybody that if you are looking for like a good onboarding, if you're looking for a connection, you want to sort of be introduced to the tank, you can do that by joining my office hours Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific. Stop by, hang out, and ask some questions. Now, maybe you got something you got to talk to me about. It's a big secret, or you want to have a conversation. We can do that too. We'll just jump into a meeting room and have a conversation. It's really that easy. I will say that our conversations in the Zoom meeting are a blast. It is always unusual, but it is very, very active. So do join. Again, that's Wednesdays. You'll see the event on the event calendar in the think tank. That's at atomicthinktank.com. And you just click on the Zoom link when the meeting is, or when the event is live, and you get shunted right into the Zoom meeting, and we party. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Great.
Okay,
Great hanging out with a lot of great guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely it is. And it's everybody's invited. It's this is one of the situations where the cool kids are like, yeah, come hang out, sit at our table. You must. We insist. All right, my friend. This has been a very jam-packed, not just for Mumamo, but also for what's in the tank. And we've got so many products out there. I encourage you, everyone, to go through all of the media that was played, and then also I want to remind you, make sure that you're liking and subscribing, making sure that you're sharing this stream with other free people that you know that will love it. Send here's the great deal: send this to grandma, and then get her primed for some Christmas heroics. And you could GM your whole family into a peace and a peaceful Christmas like you've never known. So
just remember, you have to be nice to me, Ma, or you get the cattle prod.
That's well, your holidays might be a little different than other people's, but I mean, just not bad, just different. Listen, friends, I think we're about done. Anything else for the good of the order, my friend?
I think we're good to go.
It is always a delight. Also, I want to say thanks to Jack for getting me all the information or all the assets for your advertisement. Why don't we leave on that note? What do you think?
Absolutely. That sounds fantastic. There's just one more thing to say.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. We will see you here 2 p.m. Thursday for a scary Thursday. See you then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Of Gods and Game Masters creates exceptional supplements for your role-playing games, including, but not limited to, the danger dossiers for mutants and masterminds, putting the super in supervillains. Fully realized villains with depth, complete with their background, motivations, stat block, personality, and adventure hooks. Find them on DriveThruRPG, as well as in the Game Masters Horde at ofgodsandgamemasters.com/store. And keep your eye out for my superhero horror setting, Barrow, kickstarting early next year. Imagine Gotham was also Ravenloft. Get signed up for updates on my website at ofgodsandgamemasters.com/Barrow.
Hey, friends, it's me, Disembodied Troy. Listen, we don't have a lot of time left in October, but we still have a lot of great events. Here's what's going on. On Tuesday, the 29th of October, the Untold Stories Project is running a Cthulhu Awakens actual play called Echoes at the Threshold that starts at 4 p.m. Pacific, guaranteed to be very spooky. Find them at the QR code bottom right of your screen. Then, on Wednesday, October 30th, a new event, a weekly event every single Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. It's Get Tanked with Troy. This is Troy's office hours. You need to hang out with me, ask any questions you got. Maybe you need some art. Maybe you need to talk about a collaboration that you want to do. Maybe you've got a new live stream, or maybe you just want to hang out and have some fun. It's all happening in the tank. All you have to do is go to atomicthinktank.com. You'll see in the event calendar, Get Tanked with Troy, and there's a Zoom link. Once that meeting goes live, you get to hang out live with me. We'll talk about all kinds of good stuff. It'll be fun, I guarantee. Later that evening, Abraxas Precipice is running the Expanse RPG actual play, 6 p.m. Pacific. Join them by using the QR code in the top right side of your screen. And then the big day, Thursday, the 31st of October, it's Spooky Thursday. So that's at 2 p.m. Pacific. I do hope you'll join. I will look forward to seeing you. And buckle up. November's right around the corner.